and welcome to ACE Consulting Group's Introduction to Payroll module. My name is Jacqueline. I am a Managing Director here at ACE Consulting Group, and today I'll be walking you through this module. Now, part 1 will be focusing on gathering the information of your employees, and in part 2, we will be using that information alongside the payroll deductions online calculator provided by the CRA in order to calculate how much you should remit to the government and how much you should pay your employee. Now, before we begin, I just want to introduce to you one of ACE Consulting Group's resources, which is titled A Brief Introduction to Payroll Basics and Service Options. The link to this document will be provided below, and essentially this document will cover what I'll be discussing about in the module on top of different service options that you can partake in if you are so interested. And these, of course, cost money. However, the option that I'll be talking about will be of no cost to your company. So, first step is to gather information from your employee. There are 2 vital forms that your employees must fill out prior to their employment. The first form is titled the TD1 form, which is the Federal Personal Tax Credits Return form. And all employees in Canada must fill out this form before they begin working. The second form is titled the TD1ON form, which is the Provincial Personal Tax Credits Return form. Keep in mind that this is subject to the province you live in, but because ACE Consulting Group is situated in Ontario, I'll be using the TD1ON form, the Ontario form, in this module. Again, something to keep note of is that these forms change every single year. So because this film is filmed in 2015, we'll be using the 2015 Personal Tax Credits Return form, both the federal and Ontario form. Now, these forms are made available to you in the link description below, so feel free to follow along if you so choose. Here is what the TD1 form looks like. The fields over here in the front are very self-explanatory. They ask you for your last name, your first name, your date of birth, but what you should keep note of as an employer is the SIN number provided to you by your employee. Now, for the purpose of this video, I've created a mock name, which is Jane Doe. I've created a fake address, as well as fake date of birth, country of residence, employee number, and social insurance number. So what's important to keep note of in the social insurance number is that if the social insurance number begins with the number 9, this means that the employee is not a Canadian citizen and therefore is not authorized to work in Canada. The only way they are able to work is if they are granted permission by Citizenship and Immigration Canada. So make sure when you are looking at your employee's form that you keep track of their social insurance number and what number it begins with. So after taking that into account, what happens next is your employee fills out each field. So in each field, they'll ask you different items. For instance, if you're hiring a co-op student, perhaps they'll fill out section number 5, which asks for tuition, education, and textbook amounts that they would be spending. And for the purpose of this video, just to keep things simple, I've left everything 0. So that the end total amount is $11,327. Now, the reason why the number is $11,327 is because this is the amount that everyone in Canada is entitled to claim tax credits from. And this amount changes every single year. So now we scroll down to item number 13, which is total claim amount. After adding everything up, including item number 1 over here, you get $11,327. Now, please take this number down on a piece of paper or on an Excel sheet anywhere secure, because this number will be very important when we derive what is called a claim code for your employee. Now, let's take a look at the TD1ON form, which is the Provincial Personal Tax Credits Return form, which looks very, very similar. So again, at the top is the basic information of your employee, last name, first name, address, as well as social insurance number. Now, what is different is the basic personal amount that they're able to claim. So this amount is $9,863 rather than the $11,327 that we saw earlier in the federal form. Again, there are different fields that your employee will fill out depending on their situation. But of course, for the purpose of this video, I've kept everything simple and left each field as 0 so that the total claim amount is $9,863. Again, write this number down on a piece of paper or on a cell sheet and keep that in mind so that we are able to derive what claim amount your employee has. So let's do a bit of a recap. We asked your employee to fill out 2 forms, which is the federal form, the TD1 form, and the provincial form, the TD1ON form. You fill out each field and you add it all up and you keep note of the number that is on item number 13 for the federal form and item number 12, which is on the provincial form. So on the federal form, it is 11,327, and on the provincial form, it's 9,863. So with these 2 numbers in mind, we will derive what's called the claim codes for your employee. This chart can be found in the link description below. Again, just reading the title of these charts, it says 2015 for both the federal code and the Ontario code. So these codes change every single year. The ranges change every single year. So make sure if you're viewing this video post 2015, then you are using the correct claim code charts. ACE Consulting Group will try their best to update the links in the description below. However, just keep note of that going forward. So like mentioned before, the total claim amount for our employee Jane Doe was $11,327 as shown over here in the TD1 form. So this means that their claim code is claim code number 1. Make sure to write that number down. Now, for the Ontario claim code, we can see that the total claim amount here, item number 12, is $9,863. And that corresponds to claim code number 1 on the Ontario claim code chart. So that means we have a federal claim code of 1 and a provincial claim code of 1 as well. Now in the next video, we'll be using these 2 claim codes, which helps to calculate how much should be deducted from your employee's paycheck. And of course, depending on the different claim codes, there would be different amounts that are deducted. Stay tuned for the next video, and as always, if you have any questions, feel free to post in the video below or send an email using the email address in the description of the video. See you in the next one!